Okay, in this vlog, we're going to be looking at the skills and capacities of two different exercises. First exercise that we will be looking at is the back squat with two different clients, and in the second part of the vlog, we will be looking at the deadlift exercise. So here we have the first client performing the back squat movement. So as he goes through the couple of repetitions, it's clear to see that he's not holding the bar tightly. He is initiating the movement first with his knees, so the weight's then distributed to the forefoot as opposed to the heels, and you can also see a clear heel lift with the right foot, and also a slight pronation with the foot also. This is more evident in the posterior view of the back squat exercise, when we can see our client again slight pronation of the foot and seeing the heels racing with the floor in the second video. Here we have the client again performing the back squat exercise in the frontal view. It is clear to the viewer that the client could possibly hold the bar a wee bit tighter with his grip, and also adjust his feet to a wider stance to allow him to perform the back squat that wee bit better. So following on from his heels, we decided to perform an ankle range of movement test against the wall. It's clear to see that he's able to get good range. We also then performed a counterbalance squat with a plate, and he's shown to have good range of motion within his hip joint, and he's able to keep the heels on the floor, which is a good sign. So there may be potentially other issues further up the chain. Okay, so here we have our second client performing the back squat, which we have flagged up as a capacity issue. So as we can see him descend into the squat, it's clear to identify that he initiates the movement first by bending the knees, and therefore putting all the weight distribution towards his forefoot. It's also clear to note that whenever he is in the bottom of the descent, that he can't break parallel, and he loses his trunk integrity as he goes into the ascent phase of the lift. Okay, so we need to look through other angles to see if the hip issue has flagged up. So here we have the client perform the back squat exercise in the posterior view. It's easy to identify that he performs this back squat exercise with a narrow stance, and there's a slight hip shift towards the left side as he goes down into the bottom position. Also, if we can see closely, that whenever he comes out of the bottom position, that there's a slight valgus collapse on the right side as he's ascending. So for future recommendations, there's a couple of potential exercises that the client could do in order to fix the squat pattern. Okay, so here are three potential exercises that the client could perform to help his back squat a lot better. In video 1, there's a toe touch squat. In video 2, there's a goblet squat. And in video 3, he can perform a glute stretch to open up the glutes that will allow his depth to improve substantially. Here we have the client now performing the trap bar deadlift. It must be made aware that this is the first time this client has performed this exercise before, and it's clear to see that from his initial start position that he has a kyphotic curve in the upper part of his back, and he doesn't put the chest up before he initiated the movement. So here we're going to get him performing the exercise. Again, most of the movement is initiated by the knees. He doesn't hinge from the hips, and he's keeping the head down the whole way throughout the movement. What we then got the client to do was perform a hip hinge movement with the dial, with the 3 points contact being on lower back, around the shoulders and his head. Just clearly been seen that the head and the top of the shoulders slowly come off the stick, clearly identifying a capacity issue that through further interventions and possible mobility work would hopefully clear that up and help him perform his deadlift that wee bit better. Okay, so here we have a range of different mobility exercises that the client could potentially perform. In the first video we have floor slides, in the second video we have a 90-90 stretch, and in the third video we have a lot of band resisted work in order to help improve his shoulder mobility and thoracic mobility. Okay, so here we have a client here with a skill issue, something similar to the client before. He performs the movement predominantly with his knees and doesn't initiate hip hinge. Okay, so here we have this client performing our hip hinge movement with a stick. Differently from the client previous, he can maintain all 3 points of contact on the stick, therefore indicating that this type of movement wouldn't be an issue when performing the deadlift. Okay, so we got the client again to perform the trap bar deadlift, given the couple of cues that we gave him with the hip hinge, and it's clear to see that he's able to perform this exercise quite well, and with plenty of practice will perform this exercise a lot more efficiently.